What the fuck is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Get Rich or Go Broke Tryin. I'm your host, Eddie Kang, broadcasting out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Weather's been beautiful last few days, last week or so. Hope you guys are all doing safe. I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend coming up. Just a couple of quick announcements. I'm going to be doing this solo for the foreseeable future. Gonna be making some tweaks to the schedule. Due to the holiday, probably won't drop anything this weekend, but I'm gonna create a set schedule, and as soon as I get to it, as soon as I figure it out, I will let you guys know. Without further ado, let's get to it. Quick recap of the last episode. We went 1-2 with the fourth pick being a push. So we are sitting at 35-25 over the last 3 months, which I believe is like 57%. And y'all know how I feel about being under 60%. So we took Arthur Fee's money line versus Alexander Zverev. Blue really had a chance to win it in the first set, blew it in the tiebreaker. Really, both of my tennis picks blew any chance they had of winning in the first set. Fees went, I think he lost 7-2 in the tiebreaker, and then after that, he got smoked in the second set, 6-1. So really, the key to both of our tennis picks winning was for each him and Cerundolo to get the first set. Didn't happen for either, so we lost Fees on the money line. And then we also lost Cerundolo in center at over 2.5 sets at plus 150. That one also went to a tiebreak in the first set. I believe he lost 6-7-1, even worse than Fees. And the worst part is he had a chance to win the set. He got a break to go up. I believe it was 4-2 or 4-3, and he gave. As soon as he got the break, he gave center a break immediately after, which really hurt our chances. We needed Cerundolo to get the first set for that 2.5 to win. Center took over in the second set. I believe he won 6-3, if I remember correctly. Our only win of the last episode was Panthers Maple Leafs over 5.5 at minus 120. I believe the Panthers hit that by themselves. It was like 6-2. Panthers are looking really good. I know in our group chat, I said it before the playoffs started that they were repeating. To be honest, they should be three-peating. I don't know how they lost to Vegas that first year, but Vegas is one of them playoff teams that you do not want to see in May and June. So, like I said, 35-25 over the last 3 months. I got 4 picks for y'all this weekend. 3 of them are for Friday and 1 Saturday. So starting with Friday, tomorrow morning, Felix Auger-Aliassime. I think I said that right. We call him FAA. He's playing Andre Rublev in Hamburg before French Open starts tomorrow for the lower ranked players. So Felix still has to finish his tournament in Hamburg tomorrow before he has his match Saturday at the French Open. He's playing Rublev. We are going to take over 2.5 sets at plus 118. 6 of their last 7, well, they've only played 7 times. They played 7 times. 6 of the 7 matches have went over 2.5 sets. And one of the things me and DC always talk about is follow the fucking trend. 6 of their 7 matches have went over 2.5 sets, so we're gonna roll with the over 2.5 at plus 118. Moving on, we're going to take the Knicks minus 5.5 versus the Pacers tomorrow at home. Really crazy ending to game 1. I actually fell asleep with like a minute left, thinking that the Knicks had it in the bag. I believe they were up like 7 with like a minute and a half left. Tyrese Halliburton pulls some crazy voodoo, Halley magic, what the Halley, whatever you want to call it. And really channels his inner Kevin Durant. He really tried to hit the 3. Channeled his inner Kevin Durant and had his foot on the line as he shot the game-winning basket. They ended up going to overtime, and I believe they won by 3, 138-135 in overtime. I expect the Knicks are usually more disciplined than that, especially at home. Pacers are playing out of their mind, though. Like, I would not be surprised if they win game 2. But I'm going to rely on Tibbs, the defense, and the consistency of the Knicks to go ahead and cover the 5.5, especially after what happened last night. I believe you're going to see a more resounding effort from the team. Tomorrow night, 10:05 p.m., we're going to move over to baseball. We're taking the Phillies minus 1.5 versus the Athletics at home at minus 110. I'm sorry, the Phillies on the road, minus 1.5 at minus 110 on the run line. Phillies are 15-10 on the road. Athletics are 8-14 at home. Do they even have a home? They're playing in Sacramento. They're waiting for the stadium in Las Vegas to be built. Still not even sure if they're moving to Las Vegas. I can't take the Athletics at home. It's not even home for them. It's kind of like they're a visiting team too. Phillies are a far superior team. And one thing I've started doing in baseball this year is if I like the team to win, I don't even take the money line. I just take the run line. The odds of them winning, if they're going to win, the odds of them winning by more than one are greater than them just winning by one run. So if you're going to give me extra juice, I'm going to take that. I don't think I've taken a baseball team like straight up money line as a favorite probably since like the first week of the season. The only straight up money line teams I've taken have been like underdogs. So yeah, Phillies -1.5 at -110. Final pick, we are moving. French Open starts tomorrow. I actually want to go over some futures with you guys after I do my picks. These aren't going to be like official future picks, but just things that people I like based on the path that they got to play. But my last pick, we're going to take Camilo Ugo Carabelli +138 over Wame Munar. They've only played twice. They split the head-to-head 1-1. Carabelli won the last match, the last head-to-head, which was February of last year. Both of their matches were on clay. French Open is on clay as well. I'm really just taking into the fact that Carabelli won the last match. I believe both games went over 2.5 sets. So if you like the over 2.5 and you really don't want to pick for winner, you're gonna get plus money on that as well. I'm really just taking Carabelli because he's +138. I don't really trust Munar at -176. And I actually have a nice little stat for you guys right here. Okay, so when players are +138 in tennis, they normally win 42% of the time. Carabelli wins 58% of the time when he's +138. When players are -176 money line, they usually win 64% of the time. Munar only wins 59% of the time when he's at those odds. So I really just like, and this is how you know I'm talking out my ass, because I just told you both times they played over 2.5 sets, and I'm looking at it now and it was sweeps both times. So who knows, third time's a charm, might be over 2.5 sets. But I like Carabelli at +138. Usually when tennis has very close odds like this, where it's where both of them are in the ±100s, I'm usually going to tend to favor the underdog. Tennis is weird like that. With the French Open, it's anything goes. Majors are different in that regard. Please be aware that majors are 5 sets and not 3 sets. So these are going to be marathon matches. But Munar is very up and down. He just had a great tournament run in, Italy? So I'm expecting a disappointment. Even if he wins this round, I'm not expecting him to make it past his second. I don't expect him to play more than 2 matches in this game. To be honest with you, I really feel like he's going to get knocked out tomorrow. So just a quick recap. We're taking over 2.5 sets in the FAA Rublev match tomorrow morning. That is at 11:30 a.m. 6 or 7 matches that went over 2.5 sets, so we're following the trend. Knicks -5.5 versus the Pacers tomorrow at 8 p.m. Just like I said, I'm going to rely on New York. New York pretty much was in control of game 1. They just let the last 2 minutes of the game slip away from them. I don't expect them to make that same mistake twice. I really like Minnesota at +285 tonight. I was going to put that I actually had that on my list, and then I realized that they were playing tonight and not tomorrow. But yeah, so Knicks -5.5 versus the Pacers. Phillies -1.5 on the run line versus the Athletics at -110. Phillies are 15-10 away. Phillies are 15-10 on the road. A's are 8-14 at home. It's on even their home stadium's a neutral site field, so they're ready to move to Vegas. They're doing better this year than they were last year, but they're not a playoff team. Philly's going to walk over them. And then the last one is Camilo Ugo Carabelli plus 138 over Wame Munar. And that is, it says 4 a.m. Saturday, but I think that's going to change because FanDuel and other betting apps do this thing where they put all of the day's matches at the same time. And even though there are multiple matches going on at the same time in the early rounds of tennis tournaments, I believe if you look at that match tomorrow, it'll probably say like 7:30, 8 a.m. But to be honest, if you wait until tomorrow night, you might get better odds on Carabelli. I got a feeling that Munar might slide to minus 200 before the match starts. A lot of times, especially with favorites, people usually try to take them as early as possible. So the more money that gets put on a favorite, the higher their odds are going to rise. So for me personally, if I like somebody that's a favorite, I try to grab them the night before. Whereas if I like an underdog, I usually wait until the last minute to place my bet on the underdog. Because people, especially like inexperienced bettors, they just try to see, they love betting favorites. This person's 176, that's a good odd. Like, let me grab that. And if enough people do that, that thing can jump up to minus 185, minus 195, minus 200, within 7 hours. And if that happens, then usually the favorite goes from plus 138 to like plus 160, 165. So I really like Camila Ugo Carabelli at plus 138. If it keeps rising to like plus 150, 165, jump on that. Hell, if I lose, I lose. Shit, I've been on a losing streak the last 2 shows, so, it ain't nothing new over here. But really just want to, I needed to drop something. It's been a while. We were doing well with our schedule. I'm working on getting back to that. Like I said, I'm gonna come up with a new schedule over the weekend, and when I do, I'll let you guys know as soon as I drop. I hope you guys miss me as much as I miss y'all. And as always, get rich or go broke trying, baby.